Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in this world. This is Hejin Lee with a video blog on banocycles. Now, I do know, and if you've read the Elliott Wave Principle book, I think it's in chapter 2 or 3. They adopted and applied A.J. Frost and Robert Prechter, the banocycle, who was, I believe, a farmer in the 1800s, and he was financially ruined by the 1873 panic. And he, I think, was very similar to R.N. Elliott. And who knows, maybe he was a pre-incarnation of R.N. Elliott, if you believe in that stuff. Mr. Benno identified, he had the ingenuity and the genius to identify a cycle, pattern of cycles, that ran in basically 9-year cycles. And he used this and projected that every 16, 18, and 20 years, there were panics with 8, 9, and 10-year cycles of peaks. So in every instrument, you can find different cycles. For example, he found an 11-year cycle in corn and pig prices, with prices alternating in 5 and 6 years. Cotton prices cycled every 11 years, he found. But he also found that pig iron prices had a 27-year cycle with 11, 9, and 7 years as peaks, and 8 and 9 with peaks at 8, 9, and 10 years and lows at 11, 9, 7-year cycles. And I wanted to see which one maybe can be identified for Bitcoin. And so what I did was I have here now the Bitcoin cycle highs table. Bitcoin was born on October of 2009. So in 2009, that was the birth of Bitcoin. There was no bear market event or what have you. Based on his 8, 9, and 10 years, if I add 8 years to 2009, and my God, we arrive at 2017. And that I'm describing as the mania, the CME futures, as the news of events factor. And that is the bear market we're experiencing right now. That's gone from 20K to my target of 5.2Ks. So after the 8 years from 2009, we peaked at 2017. If you add 9 years to the 2017, that brings us to 2026. That is where we will have the next major peak. Yeah, we got a 9-year bull market coming up. And who knows what news and events could be associated to flare that, for that kind of a price flare. It could be an ETF, index ETF, safe haven maybe, and I believe this would be quite probable, in that Bitcoin will be seen as a new safe haven inverse to the equities, the new gold, so to speak. So in 9 years, 2026 will be the next top year. And that's why I've been saying if you hold it until 2024, 2026, 2028, I'm giving it plus and minus 2 years. Because yes, cycles can be stretched and shrunk. And whatever is stretched is taken away from the next cycle. whatever shrunk in the current cycle is added to the next cycle. There is that kind of it's the same as bending the Elliott waves. Now, these are all Fibonacci numbers, okay? So, again, if you add 9 years to 2017, the next major peak will be in the year 2026. So, yes, if this is the bear market after the 2017 peak, because from 2009, the birth of Bitcoin, you add 8 years, you get 2017. We've already just experienced that. We're going through that correction. So what does that mean? Is now the time to be taking buying or selling actions? What do you think? If we have another 9-year bull market coming into the year 2026, what do you think should be the proper action to be taken? Should you be day trading this in and out and out and in and out, trying to make those meager 20, 30, 40% profits? I don't think so. I think if you have the long-term greedy perspective of holding it for the next 9 years, my God, could Bitcoin go to $3 million? Quite a while back, I believe, late fall, I did show an Elliott wave probable pathway where price can go to $3.2 million. So can price go by the 2026 peak? Can Bitcoin be at $3 million each? I think so. Am I trying to put on a scam? No, I am not. I'm giving you the full basic rationale. Am I pulling numbers out of the thin air? No, I am not. Could Bitcoin price go to $1 million? I think there is strong probability. From now, for the next 9-year bull market to the year 2026, it will be a jaw-dropping event, not only from the perspective of price terms, which is on the technical analysis side, but also on the fundamental aspects, that being the user expansion, ease of use, applications, you name it. Now, this is not going to be a straight shot up, and anyone who thinks so would be foolish to do so. As you know, Elliott waves, as I've been showing, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. They are requisite corrections. This 9-year bull market will not take place without corrections, minor corrections. There will still be a degree of volatility. But from a cycle perspective, of the 8, 9, 10 cycle peaks, the next one is coming in the year 2026. After that, it'll be 2036, which is why I had also mentioned 2034. So that 2036 peak, most of us will have grandkids. I probably might be dead. It is probably in that time frame of 2036 where Bitcoin will have matured, accepted, not only beyond mainstream, but it can probably be the de facto currency. And that will peak at 2036. And God knows what the price of that will be, and God knows what event will drive prices to that. But more likely, certain types of fiat currency crises. I don't think the USD and the euro will have such a crisis, but ancillary currencies, fiats, emerging markets, maybe Russia, China, and other countries, maybe even Japan, Korea, what have you, India, they may get fiat currency crisis. Why? It'll be debt-driven, most likely, because the debt has phenomenal degree of that it can suffer through, but it is not unlimited. The details of exactly how that debt will create an implosion of fiat currencies is given by Robert Prechter quite well. And he's been calling it a deflationary cycle that should result as a result of the debt explosion, or implosion rather. And then if you just add the next cycle of 8, 9, and 10, you've got 2044 to 2053, 2063, and I know just about all of us will be dead by then, so don't even think about trading for that. But I thought it was very interesting, and I want to share this with you, that how 2009, when you add 8 years, you got 2017. And that is the peak we hit, and the resulting correction that we are currently having. And again, the stress here I'm making is that we've got a 9-year bull market coming up, and I think that's freaking awesome. That means now is not the time to be taking selling actions. Now is the time to be taking incremental, laddered, structured buying actions. Hold what you've got. If you ever heard of the term HODL, for the next 9 years, to me it makes perfect sense. I'm putting where my money is, putting my I am putting my money into the actions that I am supporting. And you've seen my buy ladder for Bitcoin. And I've got ladders going for a lot of coins. Now, he also said, Mr. Benner, and by the way, his name is quite often misspelled. Banner, B-A-N-N-E-R, but it's Benner, B-E-N-N-E-R. Quite often people use his cycles without giving proper credit either, which is not a good thing. He said that cycle lows occur at 11, 9, and 7 years. So we currently have, you can make this plus or minus 1. You can begin at 2017, but I'm beginning at 2018. So somewhere at around 2029, probably after hitting the 2026 peak, there will be a significant crisis in the price of Bitcoin. Most likely 2027, 2028 or 2029. Okay? Then when you add 9 years to that at 2038, probably a couple of years after 2036 peak, you're going to get another huge crisis. And whatever that crisis might be, the only thing I can think of is who's got the most to lose by Bitcoin becoming prevalent and pervasive? Who's got the most to lose from control, power, influence, and wealth perspective? I mean, I would say the same thing with Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and others who have been poo-pooing Bitcoin. And again, follow the money. Who's got the most to lose if Bitcoin does take its rightful position in the currency family or the hierarchy? Bill Gates got billions to lose, 40 billion, 50 billion to lose. Warren Buffett's got even more to lose, probably. So I think they're human, and they're being influenced by fear of what they could lose if Bitcoin could have its entitled position sooner or later. Jamie Dimon, all the bankers. But I believe there will be bankers, central bankers, as well as wealthy people like Novogratz, who will have the ability to forward discern the positive benefits of Bitcoin. Now, by the time 2045 rolls around, many of us will be dead. But I wanted to share this with you, not to be so flippant about death, but really on how the cycles for Bitcoin are just starting. How the Benner cycle has just put in its first peg of 2017. And I think that's phenomenally exciting. And I'm just waiting for the onset of the 9-year bull market into the year 2026. And I don't care what event or news or fundamental aspects will arrive. All I know is that a new cycle is being reborn, and that'll be a 9-year bull market, maybe giving us 7 figures per Bitcoin. It could be 6 figures. It could be 8 figures, 9 figures. So if that's the case, again, I'd like to reiterate, and this is a question that you might want to ask yourself every time you buy or sell, every time. And ask yourself with a long-term greediness, is this right now, at the current price of Bitcoin, the time to be taking selling or buying actions? Me, I'm buying. Have a great day.